Okay, hope everybody is doing well. I have decided to take a very different direction on my channel and show you my sign collection. This is just only part of my sign collection, and this is right up there with my sports cards collection. This is one of my most favorite collections that I have. Of course, you know, when you go on trips, family trips, with your family, when you're kids, you know, there's some of the most memorable things that you've done. Plus, I was a long-time Boy Scout, making it all the way to Eagle Scout, and was a leader for a short time. I decided to collect these signs because these are things you really just can't get out in the what they call the wild, unless you happen to steal them, and that is not a good thing to do because the fees are just, and the fines are just jail time, essentially, and you don't want that. This is in my garage, so you may hear the heating system go off and on, but we'll take care of that. That's not a big deal. So let's just start off with the biggest one that I have, which I didn't even show here. This is the Vasquez Peak Wilderness area, Elk Creek and St. Louis Creek. There's a big damage in the middle there, and I got this at a swap meet many years ago. I want to say I paid $20 for this, maybe $25. This is an absolutely insanely huge sign. This is probably at least 4 foot by 2 foot or 2.5 feet or something ridiculous. And it's a pretty big sign. This is the kind of thing you find for about $125 on eBay perhaps. Then the next one here is an Osprey shelter sign here. I don't have enough paint that goes around the wall here. I used that for another project and ran out of paint. We won't go into why this is not finished, but and unfortunately there are some paint splatters on this sign here from when I was working on it. My frame is from some old laminate flooring here that I just was able to acquire for next to nothing. So that was just, it'll be fixed at some point. So that's kind of a newer sign here. This is the most recognizable sign, the hiking trail sign. That's really pretty cool. And of course the campground sign, that's really pretty nice, and the very common arrow there. But even an arrow like that might be $25 on eBay, easily. Then we got all these trail closure signs, which I grabbed for about $5 a piece. I think Jefferson County might be in Colorado, I'm not sure. But I put them on nails, and you can change them up. So there's about 3 or 4 on this one here. And probably the one below, there's another 2, 3, or 4 seasonal closures. What else do we have here on the back here? We're going to scoot back here. Area closed, eagle nest protection site, no entry. So that's really pretty cool. These were used in the... there was a date, 2016, so they're not very old. So, you know, some of these signs get replaced within a few years. Here's Wanted Your Campfire Dead Out. I think I found that at a Goodwill bins, not really sure. These bearing tree signs, if you can find them for $5 anymore, grab them, because people are wanting $25 and $30 a piece for them, and that is way, way, way too much. I've seen people bid something up to like $75, which I paid $5 for. And it was a sign of this size, very, very tiny, very, very tiny. Here's another thing that I found thrifting, perhaps at a Goodwill, that's day use only. Doesn't have a lot of super value, but again, it's for a display piece, and where are you going to find another one here? This laminate thing. I may have a room where it has a few other signs I can show in a minute here. This Your Fees at Work is one of the few eBay signs I purchased. The seller told me it was from the 60s or 70s, maybe even the 50s. And it's on a modern plastic, and this particular design and slogan was used in the 1990s. I knew exactly what it was, and the price was well enough for me to go ahead and buy it, even though that the listing was 100% wrong. Here's a land and water conservation placard, and I found 4 old bolts and some old reclaimed wood there from a palleter or something, and made that. Here's another one down here, some reclaimed wood here. The Colorado Trail Foundation. Again, found some old bolts, trimmed them off flush, and didn't care about the back, and the front is what mattered. That's really pretty cool. My favorite sign in the entire room here is this Devil's Punch Bowl sign right here. It even has seagull poop on the back of it to verify that it is from the Devil's Punch Bowl in Oregon, on the Oregon coast. Very famous landmark. I have a couple of postcards of it. It's really hard to see. I have it behind a few things here. And then, if you've seen in my last video, my Goodwill Bins video, I have these brochures here. These are the ones I already have, and I have a plastic thing that displays your for your travel brochures there, and that's supposed to go down below here when I get a chance here. This says something like catch, eye, or 1-2 trail, number 1745. I made that. I didn't make that sign, but I was at a swap meet and the guy said, "Hey, do you want a free sign?" I said, "Sure." So I just added some bolts to it and a piece of wood that I found floating in the creek, and rounded it off at the top, or beveled it off on the top, and that just looks really cool. And I don't know what that trail sign is. I've looked all for it. I have no idea. If anybody has any idea what that is, let me know. I was going to put these in my backyard, but I do not want the city to get after me for ordinances or whatever. And it says Washington State Parks Natural Area. And there's another one here. It says trail access this way. Another one is, similar to that. So that's really cool. So let me go into the other room where I have some more signs and show you those. Okay, so we are at room number 2. And this is a cool logging operation ahead, CB channel 1. Somebody found this at a bin store, and I was like, I don't feel like buying it today. I can't have been more than $5 for this channel. I think he threw it back because it was a recent modern sign, or there was some damage to it. But again, this is like a $50 to $100 sign on eBay all day long. And I was so happy to have that, I just had to put that in this room here. This is one of my favorite signs in here, this hiker trail. It's not particularly centered well. It's a little crooked here. It's hard to tell, but the print is a little crooked. Hiker trail, this is for hiker use only. Motorized vehicles, saddle horses, pack animals are prohibited beyond this point. As again, probably another $75 sign. This is on wood. It was at a swap meet for all of $25. I think I got him to $20. I'm not really sure, but it was at the end of the day, and he said, why not? So that was really pretty cool. This, I have no idea if it's an actual legit sign or somebody made that, but it's a new, looks like more like unused sign. Please close gate, East Bay Regional Park District. I just thought that was really cool. I've never seen another one. That was one of my first eBay sign purchases of this type of thing, and that's out of the Bay Area of California, I believe. But why it was never used in Somet, I have no idea. And of course, you have to have maps of the Willamette National Forest and that sort of thing. This is the sign that people were bidding up like crazy, and I think I got this from an eBay seller. It took 2 or 3 weeks to ship it. The wildlife tree one there. It's probably from the 70s. Early 80s. I thought that was really cool, and I had to have that. Again, there's another bearing tree, and these national forest signs are very, very popular. They're about $25 in various conditions, plus the good old shipping and that sort of thing. And it's getting really, really harder and harder to find this stuff. My room here is decorated with like some outdoorsy type photographs of people hiking, and I think these I found at a swap meet for $1 or $2 a piece. I just thought they were cool to have. The photographer went camping and just took those pictures there. Here's a witness post. Please do not disturb the nearby survey marker. I'm not sure where that would have been, but again, I think that was a $5 purchase. And those are $25, $30, $40 if you can find them. And a couple more things here. These are things that you would get at like the outdoor store or whatever like that, and they'd be fairly expensive. Here's the Western United States, and these are the 3D maps. I have a bunch of them. They do get old and brittle after a while, so they get broken. One of my favorite things in this room here is this kind of cool 3D display. Unfortunately, somebody stole the legend off of here. That is Mount Hood, so that is really, really cool. And it's on this wooden frame here, but it's actually a stand, and it came out of some sort of, interpretive center or something like that. I believe I got that for $5, and I was going to make a legend for that. I just don't know what to put there. Really don't know, but there's all the hiking trails and all the roads and streets, and it is really, really, really well detailed. It's really unfortunate that somebody has stolen the legend. That if that was brass, it probably wasn't brass. It was probably some sort of brass plating or whatever, and now I'll never know what that was from or what that said. Maybe that was donated like that without the legend on there. But I would imagine something like this being easily $100 plus shipping on eBay. And like I said, I got this stuff before the collecting boom, 5, 10, even 15 years ago in some cases for some of this stuff. So that's really my collection. Here's actually one more property marker sign here. Property boundary behind this. And I had one at a swap meet that I was selling at, and I tripled my price, and it was even worse condition than any of these ones you see here. And the guy was actually tickled pink to get it, so I don't know, I must have made $15 or something like that. I was pretty happy. So a really cool collection, very thinking outside of the box. If you see any of this stuff, you know, you may want to put that in your man cave or whatever. And thank you for watching.